Boeing kurwa! Ja pierdolę! Aviation fans, welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast. And today we're going to be taking a look at a 1/500 scale Boeing 767-300 in the livery of Poland's flag carrier, Polskie Linie Lotnicze, abbreviated as LOT, and known in English as LOT Polish Airlines, which was founded in 1928. As you can see, this model celebrates the 70th anniversary of the airline's founding, meaning it was made in 1998, or perhaps the following year. You can see it says scale 500 down here, Herpa wings, and here is a close-up of the real plane. You can even see that this is the Gdansk, although it's kind of hard to read, but that should be the emblem of the city for my Polish viewers. Now, this is Herpa catalog number 502917. And over here we have the wingspan of 47.57 meters, a length of 54.94 meters, and a height of 15.85 meters for the 767-300. Let's unbox it. So, made in 1998, it's a pretty old model, but I managed to pick this up for 10 euros. These days, Herpa won't give you a 767 for even 3 times the price. So let's see what you could get for 10 euros back in the day. And here it is, the Boeing 767-300. So the reason why I added this plane to my collection is because the LOT livery looks amazing on the 767, especially this older one with the blue stripe over the passenger windows. This livery has been around since 1977, but since 2012 they have done away with the blue cheat line, which is a shame. Speaking of LOT 767, Polish Airlines Flight 16, which had to be written off after making a belly landing in 2011 in Warsaw, was also a 767-300 in this exact livery, although it was the Poznan and not the Gdansk. What happened was that the landing gear had failed to extend, and so it was forced to land without it, and thankfully all 231 people on board survived. Now, LOT acquired their 767s in 1990, just a year after Poland had become a democracy after more than 4 decades of life in the East Bloc, which only had access to Soviet planes. Fun fact, they never added 777s to their fleet, so until the acquisition of 787s, the 767s were their largest Boeings, and they remained in service until 2013. It's also kinda weird that to this day, the entire LOT Polish fleet consists of only planes made in the Americas, namely only Boeings and Embraers, and has no Airbuses, except a single A330-900neo they have leased from Air Belgium, which I believe is still in the Air Belgium livery. Herpa never re-released this as a new generation with scale-accurate landing gear. However, they did make 4 different versions of this OG 767. The first one, made from 1994 to 1997, did not have the anti-glare shield in front of the cockpit windows and had smaller engines. The second release, made between 1997 and 1998, had the anti-glare shield, but still had the smaller engines. Then in that same time period, at some point, they started making the third version, which had bigger engines. And this is the 4th version, made from 1999 to 2004, which has the Gdansk branding, but is missing the rear cargo doors that all other 3 versions before it had on both the port side and starboard side. However, this Gdansk version is the only one of the 4 that has a silver leading edge on the vertical stabilizer, as well as aft fuselage registration, which we will get to in a moment. So we'll start our review by taking a look at the port side of the aircraft, at the L1 door. And you can see that it has a door handle to its left and a porthole as well. And right next to the door, we actually have an interesting symbol. And to the bottom left of the door, underneath the cockpit windows, you can see the emblem of the city of Gdansk, and right next to it, the Polish coat of arms. Not sure what the PB stands for. As we move along the left side of the plane, you can see the window line, the LOT logo, and then up here it says Polish Airlines in English. The two overwing emergency exits. And here at the back we have the aft fuselage registration saying Sierra Papa Lima Papa Bravo. That symbol that we saw at the front displayed here again, not sure what it means. And then of course the aircraft type specification reading Boeing 767. And here's a look at the vertical stabilizer, which is the logo of LOT Polish Airlines, basically a stylized bird, a crane to be exact, and to the top right of it, the Polish flag. In the current livery, the colors have been inverted in that the crane is white instead of blue, the white background is blue, and only a white ring remains instead of the full white circle. Now taking a look at the horizontal stabilizers, you can see that they're two-tone, so they have a little bit of extra detail compared to some of the other Herpas that I have. And if we take a look at the wings of the plane, the advantage of the Gdansk 70th anniversary LOT Poland Boeing 767 is that it comes with registration, not just on the aft fuselage, but also on the wings, which gives it that extra amount of detail. Other than that, you can see that it has a two-tone paint, and the spoilers, flaps, slats, ailerons, and all that are not covered by the paint, so they're really nicely visible. So the engines on the Boeing 767 are CF6s, and more realistically sized compared to Herpa's first and second release of the LOT Polish 767. You can see the fan blade detailing is done very nicely, as well as the silver leading edge on the cowling. So overall, I think that the more realistic proportions makes it look better now. And if you paid attention earlier, it has the LOT logo written on the engine nacelles, and you also have the symbol of the airline next to it. Now regarding the cockpit area, this is one flaw of the old generation Herpa 767 casting, in that the cockpit windows of the 767 are just a bit too small. They should be 1.5 times their size for it to be realistically proportioned. In this pic, which shows a 1/400 version of the 767-200 by Aero Classics, you can see how big the cockpit windows are supposed to be. It also has other details like the engines being even more accurately shaped and shaded, no step markings and emergency exit markings on the wings, beacon lights, and passenger window frames. But keep in mind models like these go for €50 each. But even in my review of OG Herpa's Landchile or Brunei 767s, they were bigger there, but for some reason on this one they're smaller. Maybe it has something to do with the anti-glare shielding, but I mean, overall, the livery of the plane kind of distracts you from focusing too much on the size of the cockpit windows. So yeah. And here's a look at the other side of the plane. Again, very iconic livery. Unfortunately, you can see that this plane does not have any cargo doors. As I mentioned earlier, none of the other versions have the forward cargo doors. However, the aft cargo door is also missing on this one. And otherwise, you can see that it has the old landing gear. So they're kind of clunky. Not much detail here at the back. I did paint away the annoying silver insert. Try to paint it white so that it doesn't become so obvious. But yeah, taking a look at the bottom of the plane, you can see that we have the Herpa logo in the middle, underwing registration as well, and here you get a look at the trailing edge fairings, which are also there on the 767. So overall, it looks okay. Now for comparison, I have here an Airbus A300-600, which was basically Airbus's first twin-engine widebody, and the 767-300, which was the stretched version of the 767-200, was basically Boeing's answer to the Airbus A300. And you can see that both planes are pretty much identical in length. Perhaps the 767-300 has a slightly bigger wingspan, but they were pretty fierce competitors, I'd say. Now, I'm not sure, but I think that the range of them were also pretty similar. So, these were the rivals of their time. And both of them had the advantage of having only two engines, making them one step ahead of the trijets in terms of fuel efficiency. So I hope you guys liked my review of the 1/500 scale Boeing 767-300 in the LOT Polish Airlines livery. I have reviewed a couple of other 767s here, so you might want to check those out, and take care. Have a nice day. This is Imperial Diecast, signing out.